when anyone talks peace, I know you are truly Ugandan. Let's vote peace. Indeed, let us bring back dignity to Uganda's leadership. These are not my words. These are the words of my guest today, Nancy Kalembe. Nancy ran for president in 2026, and she's preparing for yet another cycle. She did run in 2021, and she's preparing for another cycle. She was the only woman who ran back then. Today we are going to try and talk about some things with her. We are going to look at where journalism is in the region. We are going to look at where the East African community is going. And we are also going to look at the political, basically the political and social setting of our country and where we would want it to be. So let's get into this. I am Musanjifu Benjamin, and welcome to the East African Perspective. Hello, Nancy. Thank you for being here.
Hello, Benjamin. I am happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you have been silent. You have been lost. You made headlines in 2021 when you decided to run for president. We shall get into that. But I will first take you back to where you were, or where we think you were, those who watch you from the public space. You have you have this background in journalism. You may not be a journalist, and I would want you to tell us, give us your view. Where is journalism now? Where is it going? What is happening to the whole media space in Uganda, in East Africa, and basically the globe? Where are we, and what are the implications to us as individuals and the society? I want us to start from there.
Well, thank you, Benjamin. First and foremost, I have been silent on purpose. A lot of people think that once you come onto the political scene, you have to make noise and be seen at all costs. Sometimes court attention at all costs is not worthy. Sometimes it can actually destroy you. In our setting in Uganda, sometimes we've come to understand that silence is golden. Because if you're not silent, what are you talking about? And if you're talking about whatever it is you're talking about, is it going to improve anyone's life? Is it going to endanger yours and your family? So you have to be very delicate. There's a very delicate balance between being vocal in this country in politics and being silent. So most of the times I have been silent, it has been very deliberate. It's not that I don't want to be heard and to be known, but I have to pick my words very carefully. It is better, the Bible says that when a fool is silent, they will think that you're intelligent. So I'd rather be seen as intelligent even when others will think I'm a fool, other than coming out and talk unnecessarily about issues that I have no business talking about. There are issues, yes, that have been going on in Uganda that some people have approached me and said, maybe I should put in a word or two. And my question has been, to what end? We know about the issues that are happening in our country. When we talk about them, and it's not a forum of leaders discussing a way forward, what is the point? Because unproductive criticism does not help you and I.
It doesn't.
In Ugandan politics right now, running against the current government means you're automatically opposition.
Yes.
And the moment most people put on the shoes and the hat of opposition, they just come out to criticize everything. Criticism is supposed to be positive. It's supposed to be productive. So if I criticize this table is not clean, someone needs to bring a rug, or I'll bring a rug and we'll clean the table.
You offer alternatives.
Exactly. If we're not offering alternatives and it's all about being seen and being heard, it is very unproductive. And I'm sorry, in that space, I don't think I'm made for such. I'm not supposed to just come out and talk endlessly without having a solution in mind. For areas where it's advisory, yes, I will speak on those issues. On issues where we need to speak up so that government can do something about it, like amount a certain level of pressure so that government makes certain changes, then I will speak. But if it is for criticism's sake, I'd rather not, because a lot of people are doing that already. So my addition would be redundant.
Okay.
So I wanted to put that out of the way. In regards to the situation of the media in Uganda, in East Africa, in Africa, and in the world today, I'm not a journalist by profession, and neither am I working in the journalism space. However, I used to work with Sanyu FM and UBC TV, UTV, and then we transitioned into UBC. And at the time, journalism was slightly different from what it is today. The state of journalism right now is something we have created.
Really?
Yes.
As Ugandans?
Whatever society we are in, and whatever the level of journalism we have created it. We have polished it. We have made it what it is right now. There is I don't know if you're familiar with the 7 mountains of influence.
You could tell us about them.
Okay, so there's 7 mountains of influence. One of them is the media and entertainment mountain. So there's faith, there's family, there's education, there's economy, there's governance. So you are familiar with them. So there's arts and entertainment as well, and there's media. Now, the media mountain is usually overlooked, but it is what shapes generations to come.
And I think it shapes all the others, the other 6.
Exactly. It has influence on all the other 6, whether we like it or not. While I was growing up, the movies that were showing at a particular time in the 80s when AIDS had become a problem, they needed people to understand that AIDS was not airborne, because people were stigmatizing those with HIV/AIDS. And so they had to use the media in the news, with the plays, with the music, with the films we were watching, so that the stigma could be put aside. And also awareness of how to handle people with HIV/AIDS and how to handle ourselves so that we could reduce the spread of this disease. I saw another phase where the World Health Organization was putting a lot of emphasis on family size. And a lot of movies from Hollywood were being churned out. And every sitcom, every movie production had 2 children, father, mother, son, and, brother, sister. And it shaped a lot of people's mindsets. If you look at many people in their 40s now or 50s, they have 2 children. Why? They were indoctrinated. They were conditioned and programmed that a family has to have 2 children, which is not naturally African to only have 2 children. We'll talk about the population issues later. Now, media has a very big role in our society. Right now, as we were growing up, messages were taken out. Right now, I don't know if you've noticed, there's a very popular theme through all movies and sitcoms and everything. There will be some level of diversity. And when we talk about diversity, we're not just inclusivity. We're not just talking about, the black people were left out, so every movie has to have a black person. Or maybe the disabled. Every movie has to have, many movies, you'll find a disabled person, maybe someone who's with one disability or another. And then we have the inclusivity of the spectrum of the A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, that some people call the LGBT community. So it's LGBT, every day a letter is included. So we have that as well.
The whole alphabet.
The whole alphabet is included. And you realize that with time, this conditioning, this programming, it becomes normal. And the media is being paid to do this. At what cost?
Has the media always been paid, even in the past?
They have been. We have had media houses that were professional and media houses that are not. That is the condition of the human being. Since Adam and Eve, there's always been good and evil. That one we cannot avoid. So the situation that the media finds itself in, or journalism as an industry finds itself in right now, is something we have created. Not just the journalists, but the society. So when you find a society that is unproductive, what is the conditioning? Right now, our societies are very money-minded. Everything has been commercialized, even our bodies. Why? It's cool. It's been shown on TVs that it is cool. It is cool to be indecent. It is cool to be abusive. Because right now, I think you've noticed there's a trend. Whenever someone says something, abuses come up. And it is cool.
It's what brings
and it's unbridled immorality. Everyone is doing whatever they want, and it's freedom of everything. We had freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of journalism, freedom of expression, freedom of everything. Now we have freedom of everything. Now, with that, and you have freedom of everything on one hand, and you have a mindset that is very monetized for everything. Now, if journalists want to be paid for every single thing they do, chances are someone who's trying to put out educative information will probably not find enough journalists to cover that. So we have fewer edutainment programs on TV. We have more sexualized programs on TV. We have all kinds of, I don't know why, but for some reason, all the negative things get funding.
Could it be that journalists want to be like, let's say, lawyers? They also need to earn. They also want to have...
At what cost? You see, most of us want to earn. We are very myopic. I think our generation is very myopic. We like to see things now. I want to earn today. At what cost? Okay, so I become a prostitute now. I'm going to earn a lot of money now. What effect is it going to have on my children? What effect is it going to have on my community, on my society, on the people around me? While I'm taking blood money, what is going to be the effect on everybody around me? So journalism actually right now is in a state of receiving blood money, if I may put it that way.
Because a media house, let's say in Uganda, may want to be like CNN, that have got lots of money. You may want to aspire to be that. You're like, want to be the African CNN.
There's nothing wrong with that.
How do I get there?
There's nothing wrong with becoming the African CNN or the African BBC. There's nothing wrong with that. Aspirations are good. Ambitions are good. Dreaming is good. The path, there are always two paths to success. There's the easier path. There's the harder path.
Which is longer.
CNN and BBC, how many years have they been in production?
Of course, BBC.
You cannot come today, open up a media house, and you want to be like BBC, Al Jazeera, CNN. You can't, unless you're going to take shortcuts along the way. What kind of programming are you churning out? To whose benefit is it? How is it going to help? Are you playing the long game? Because there's always consequences for everything that we do. You're either going to build a legacy of respect, or you're going to build something else. So as journalists and people who own media houses, the choice is theirs. And we, who are outside, who are watching, who are consuming, we are helping them. So whatever state journalism is in right now is the fault of everybody in society.
Okay. Now, the reason why I asked about journalism is journalists cover politics, elections, and I want us to go into that direction right now. You have been at the highest level of politics. Actually, the moment you're a presidential candidate, I think even the way society looks at you changes. What people expect of you changes. That is why, in most cases, you'll be expected to speak more because you're now at that level. So, in that light, you are the only woman that ran in 2021. There were challenges then. we want you to tell us about those challenges and the challenges that those coming in should expect. About 12 people have been confirmed, but very many people picked nomination forms. We want you to tell us in this cycle what, especially the girls, very many girls have picked forms and there is no age cap anymore, and there is excitement. What should they expect? Of course, their culture, their structure, their financial challenges. What should they expect? What are you facing already as you prepare for this cycle?
I feel like I'm in an exam right now. Your questions are very complex and multifaceted.
Let's break them down.
Okay, so you started by talking about journalism in politics.
Yes.
What role are they playing?
Yes.
That is a broad question in its own. I will handle the one of being the only female in the last elections and what I did and challenges and all. Let me start, because we're talking about journalism. So this is what is happening in the political space right now. Whoever has the money can afford to call all kinds of journalists. They come on board and reproduce whatever they want, the candidate wants them to reproduce. So if that candidate has good stuff to churn out, that's what is going out. If the candidate has negative stuff to churn out, that's what is going to go.
Money.
But what happens is journalists who are paid now lose the moral standard of choosing what should go and what shouldn't. Because if I've paid you for rubbish, you need to put the rubbish on.
Only the rubbish. If
you're a professional journalist and you're saying, okay, recently what a meeting with different political individuals at a certain media house, and the CEO of that media house stated clearly that our journalists are paid. You do not need to pay them. They're instructed to come and collect. Now, other media houses say, I've given you a microphone, I've given you the tools, go and make your own money. Now, when you send out journalists who are unpaid, they will bring every rubbish, because anyone who wants to be seen on TV then will pay. So if information is paid for, then it has to get airtime. So now that is a challenge I think we're going to face in these upcoming elections, because anybody who can afford to pay media houses will do that. I pray and hope that journalists will be paying attention to good material we have throughout the political season that we have. If they do that, number one, they'll be doing a service to our country so that people can know who to vote for and who not to vote for. Because now we are in a monetized system of government, of politics, if I will put it that way. So if anybody who has money can get into the political scene and win an election, that means our country is in a really big mess. You saw the SEC.
Yeah, the drama in the second.
I was going to use something else, but drama is good.
Yeah, let's use drama.
You know what happened with the SEC drama?
Yes.
We saw good people being thrown out and others coming in. And
we were entertained.
Yes, it was. Was it entertaining?
That's what Ugandans want to call. Oh, that's what we think Ugandans want to call shroom.
No. That means we are really being debased, and that's not a good thing. But when it comes to leadership that is controlled by money, I think we are heading down a very steep and slippery and dangerous route. I hope that Ugandans can see through this and choose very carefully who they should listen to and what ideas people are bringing on board. I mean, the world has moved on from the gimmicks in politics. First world countries are now discussing issues, and we are still discussing, let us also eat, let us also have an opportunity. So guess what is happening? The educated minds, the talented people, the people who actually have ideas that would bless this country are stepping away from politics slowly. The few of us who are staying in politics, everybody looks at you and thinks, why are you wasting time? Leadership for our country is not wasting time. Someone has to make the sacrifices. It's expensive. emotionally, financially, mentally, socially. It's a very expensive process. If it was expensive financially only, that would be manageable because you can get funders. But you can't get funders for emotional expense, for societal expense. You can't get funders for that because it takes a toll on the human being. And so most educated people are starting to step out and say, okay, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a scientist, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. Let me stick to my profession because this is rubbish. But the long-term effect of that is the policies that are made by people who are...
Have low standards?
I didn't say that. People who are either uneducated or ill-educated are going to make policies that are going to affect everyone negatively. So the role of journalism, if the mountain of influence of journalism is mishandled, it's going to affect all of us. And then we'll be complaining in a few years, but it will be our fault. So, moving on. You talked about the challenges.
And you have mentioned some of them. You have talked about even the mental toll.
The challenges of running for a presidential seat in this country are not challenges for women only.
Yes.
I actually hate the questions that surround women this, women that. Why? Because ultimately you're victimizing the women. By the time a woman is running for presidency, they have the same qualifications, or a lot of times even better than the men. Why? Because society worldwide expects when the requirement for a job is 1, a woman has to have 7. So by the time a woman is running for presidency in a third world country, in Uganda especially, it is not because it is, Equal Opportunities Act in play. No, it's because this woman actually has what it takes to run this country. And when
she should be measured.
It shouldn't be an issue of, there are so many women who are running for presidency, what are the challenges of women? Let me tell you something. Once you come out and you say you're running for presidency in this country,
you're a presidential candidate.
You're a presidential candidate.
There's nothing like
the ground. It is nothing to do with male, female. Number 1, you've become state enemy, kind of. Kind of. The financial expenses that are required if you're to do a campaign in this country are the same. They're not going to say, okay, you're a woman, so pay half. No.
You pay the same amount.
You're going to pay the same amount. You're going to come against the same enemies. You're going to come against the same challenges, whether it is society, how they're perceiving you, how the government perceives you, how your family is going to treat the whole situation. A lot of families shun politics because of all the dangers that you could cause them.
Yes.
So you're going to suffer at home because your brothers and sisters and maybe your parents are very uncomfortable with the fact that you can go for member of parliament, but running for presidents in this country,
even member of parliament, we have
member of parliament, the fights are not as ugly. And the world does not, the country does not shun you. Because if you run for member of parliament, tomorrow you can go and get a job. The moment you run for president in this country, number 1, getting a job becomes
Nancy,
almost impossible.
A little bit. You have brought that issue of the ugliness. You know how ugly it is. Why do you choose it? First time and second time. Again.
I don't choose.
You have outlined all these challenges. Financial, you said there's an emotional toll, societal. Why again?
Challenges.
Yes.
There's a word for that in every language. You know why?
It's part of life.
Exactly. I had challenges being born.
Yes.
Because I had to come through a birth canal that was too small for a human being to come through.
Are you
That's a challenge.
Are you familiar with the term soft life?
I had challenges learning how to sit because
Yes.
I had to be supported for a number of months.
Yes.
I had challenges becoming mobile. That's why I started with my fours. I had challenges walking. That's why I had to hold things and start walking at some point. I had challenges learning when I went to school. What they were teaching was new, but I learned it. There are challenges at every stage of life. The beauty of life is we choose our challenges. You can choose that school is too hard and you drop out in P3. P4 was one of the classes that was hard. So in P4, you can say school is hard.
Things are getting
When
harder.
I went to school, there was still beating in school. Teachers used to cane us. If beating was too hard, that's a challenge. Stop going to school. It's a choice you can make, and it's okay. Every choice you make, you have to be prepared for what comes after that. If you choose to do P7, well and good. If you choose to do secondary school, university, you finish your first degree. Now there are people who decide, okay, first degree is not enough, let me do my master's. Master's is not enough, let me do my PhD. When you're doing your PhD, you're going to struggle. There are challenges. There are financial challenges, there are emotional challenges, there are physical challenges. You're not going to sleep. While other people are sleeping till 7, 8, 9 in the morning, you have these endless papers you have to write. Then if you want to be a professor, then you have another endless. So it depends on your level. When you ask me, I've seen the challenges. Why do I continue to try and get into this office? Because those are the challenges I've chosen.
Okay. It's a choice.
You choose, if you want to be a professor, you burn the midnight candle. If you want to be a successful businessman, you know what to do. If you want to be a farmer, you know what to do. Every good farmer will tell you it is not funny. But when you get to their farms, you're like, wow, this is so beautiful. But when the drought comes, you will ask them, why do you remain in farming? Because farming is ugly. Look, the rain is not coming. There's not enough water and all that. Challenges are a part of life. We all choose our challenges. And by God's grace, we choose to stand. And we all have different reasons. Now, the office I am running for is at the helm of this country's leadership.
Yes. Or region.
I am region.
Or region.
Region, it depends, but we'll get to that. So, it's at the helm of our country's leadership. Why do I want to lead our country? I am Ugandan.
You know, before you get to leading, why do you want to go through the path of getting to the leadership?
Because I want to become the president of Uganda.
Okay.
Now, to become the president of Uganda, this is the path I have to take. To become a mother, I had to go through backache, big stomach, painful legs, vomiting, that whole. But guess what? You have become a mother once, and you say, oh, these babies are nice. I want to have more and more and more and more. That's the path. You can't say, I want to become a mother, shortcut. Okay, you can adopt, that's a shortcut.
Surrogacy and...
Now, unfortunately for presidency, there's no shortcut.
Kind of.
There's no shortcut in our day's civilization.
Yes.
We can use the old-fashioned way of going to war and fight, bloodshed, and then you come into the country. That's a shortcut, which is very ugly.
Would say the Tanzanian president had a shortcut.
Was it a shortcut, really? Have you read her, biography?
Of course
it was not a shortcut. No, she was, when the opportunity met preparedness. So it was not a shortcut. That woman, she's amazing. I love, by the way, when you see any female president, there is no female president on earth who has been and who is, who has had a shortcut in life. Because society always expects us to be at 7 when men are at 1. Because you have to prove yourself 7 times more than all other men. If I was a man, I would be asked questions like, so
What are you going to do for the
What
country?
are you going to do for the country?
What
And
are-
we'd get onto the conversations
Yes.
immediately of what am I going to
It
do?
is-
But because I'm female, I have to prove, you're a woman. What did you do? Okay, so you
And it's-
studied. We
and
understand.
It's important.
And it's important, yes. And I understand because we are a masculine society. We're a patriarchal society, and having a woman in leadership is a bit outside the norm. That's why we've never
is, we can't deny that.
had a female president. However, it is time for countries to grow. We need civilian leaders. And time again, women have proved that the best civilian leaders are women.
That's debatable, but let's move on.
Anyway, so because I want to see a better Uganda, I want to see Uganda improved. That is why I keep at this.
Okay.
There are things that ache me, that pain me.
They ache every Ugandan.
Yes, but I know they ache every Ugandan. They ache me in a way that has pushed me out of my comfort zone. I was in the corporate world, very comfortable. I had a very good salary, I had a very good job in petroleum, and we all know how petroleum pays.
Why would you leave that?
I left it because of this ache that was beyond the comfort. There are aches you have that go beyond the comfort of where you are.
Nancy, there is that ache.
Now,
every girl has
otherwise, I mean, having a job in petroleum, banking and all that, I would never have left that because you have all perks. Financially, you're good. You have all kinds of allowances that make you so comfortable.
Even
you can just
is sorted.
Retirement is sorted. Financially, you are sorted. But the thing is, there is a time beyond self. I can't be comfortable every day, and I see people who are going hungry. I can't be comfortable every day, and I see my neighbors' children in the communities, in the villages, education systems are dying. I can't be comfortable every day, and I go to visit some relative in the hospital, and there's no Panadol, there's no basic medication, there's no human resource to deal with the people who are suffering. So the things that that bother me, one, the level of poverty to a point that someone lacks food. Two, the level of poverty that someone cannot access health care. That's something very basic because we need to be alive. Third, the level of poverty that someone can only access, I don't call it basic education anymore, what we have in Uganda. It is below basic right now, in the time and age we are in. Before, all you needed to do was English, was write, and arithmetic. It was called reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? That was basic then. Now, when the world is going to AI, it's so technologically advanced, we cannot still be in reading, writing, and arithmetic.
We actually can't.
So those are some of the things I believe having a mother's heart will enable Ugandans to grow out of the reading, writing, arithmetic. Will grow out of the basics of I can eat once a week or twice every week. Having a mother's heart, I believe, positions me best to run this country.
On that, if you were president, if you became president,
yes,
and I'm doing this because of the poverty and our incomes, how would you handle, let's say, youth unemployment and education, things that have gone wrong in this country? Education has gone wrong, as you have said, and then there is basically no employment. That is why we're having most of the people that finish school go to the Arab world to look for work. How would you tackle the question of employment and education, those two issues?
Surprisingly, I don't know if you have heard of the Singaporean mathematics syllabus.
No, I haven't. All I know is that that country was at the same level with us. And
some of the biggest contributors of that syllabus were actually Ugandan professors. And right now it has been adopted all over the world. And most international schools use that. So, I believe we are well equipped to have a good education system. We have the right minds in our country. We have the right human resource. We have professors who have the ability to rewrite our education system. Now, I will, without mentioning names.
Yes, there have been efforts.
There are a number of, there's a group of professors who approached the Ministry of Education and they had a curriculum well written out and they were rejected because the people in the ministry at the time did not see the immediate benefit to them. As individuals. So the issue of the education system, I've always said, we need to overhaul the education system. I said this last election, and unfortunately, between then and now, the syllabus has been tweaked, but not, I don't think it is for the better.
Okay.
Because I think the whole process was wrong.
It feels like the younger people in school are different from us. More skills, more outgoing.
We were skilled. With the education system we had, by the time we left P7, we were walking, talking, breathing industries. Why? We did math, English, science, SST as the standard 4 subjects. But guess what? In our schools, we were taught, we used to go to the garden and dig. So we learned agriculture. Most schools in Uganda had agriculture. Because by then we didn't have the private schools that didn't want their kids to go to the garden. So most schools had agriculture, had basket weaving, had mat weaving, had carpentry, had metalwork, had bakery, had cookery, all these things.
So all these things in the new
home
curriculum
economics,
we are seeing were there.
They were there. They were removed.
So it's nothing new.
So bringing it back and you're saying, oh, now they are skilling centers. We don't need skilling centers. We had a system that was working. Those skills were removed. Taking away my food and then you give it back to me does not mean that you're doing me a favor.
Okay.
Skills were part of the system in primary school. We learned, by the time we left school, we knew how, we had home economics. You could actually manage a home. You could manage the finances of a home by the time you left P7. You could manage a small business. We used to bake in P7 VAC.
Okay.
When you went to S4, you did the same thing. You improved and became better. The boys could do whatever. Our hands, they gave us head knowledge and skills.
So
now that was removed. So the generation that is seeing skilling centers coming up now, they're not doing us a favor. They were there, they were removed, they're giving them back to us and saying, oh, we are doing you a favor. No. Now, moving on from there, skills are very, very important. And they need to be given from a very early age. Because a child as young as 7 years or 6 years in primary school needs to know how to have a basic small garden in a pot. Or in a cavera somewhere. Backyard gardening should be basic knowledge for everybody.
Being a parent to a plant.
Thank you very much. Because if you can't manage a plant, you can't manage a pet, you can't manage a chicken, really. By the children,
you can't manage
African
yourself.
society had an education system that was good. When the white man came, they brought Western education and they negated African education without considering. No, we are not blaming them. I'm not in that category of people who blame. I'm just giving a scenario. We had an education system that worked for us then. We had our own medicines, we had our own morals, we had our own way of society and upbringing of children. When the colonial masters came, that was changed.
So Nancy,
let me finish. Let me get home. Now, what we were supposed to do is not throw out Western education. That's also a very wrong approach. It's always good for development to happen. You need to be open-minded and embrace what is available to you. So we needed to revisit what did we have in Africa, whether it comes to medicine, education, and whatever. What did we have that was thrown out that was good, that we need to return? What is it in the Western education system that we need to retain? What can we amalgamate this, make an alloy that is stronger than both metals? You understand?
I understand. That
Now,
makes sense.
if we got to that level, our education system would be very far by now. It still can be corrected because it's not too late. But do the people in leadership actually want a well-educated population? Is the question.
One question. It could be a whole podcast episode. Now, moving away from that, because you have answered my question of education, and I'm sure when the skills come in, we can now tackle employment.
Now, talking about employment,
yes,
we can't say we don't have jobs in this country. What we can say is the opportunities that are available have been destroyed. There is very big opportunity in Uganda. That's why when foreigners come here, they can actually work.
Yeah, they can and make lots of money.
But our problem in Uganda is not lack of employment. Our problem in Uganda is lack of proper management of systems. The people in leadership have failed to understand that you have to ring fence certain things for your children to be able to feed well. If I'm feeding the neighborhood, I can't claim to feed the neighborhood. Charity begins at home.
Nancy, that is what is happening in Tanzania right now.
Yes, what is happening in Tanzania?
And they are facing a backlash because they look like they're ignoring the East African Treaty.
That is a very delicate.
Yes, I know it is very delicate because.
But I'll give my opinion.
Yes.
But it's my opinion. I'm not saying it is the right thing to do. Her Excellency is a mother.
Yes, she is.
Right? Maternal instinct says, let me feed my children. Right? And then optics will come later.
So we shouldn't castigate her.
Personally, I support her to a degree. If she says all small businesses should be done by Tanzanians, I mean, that is the right thing to do. All the little food that is available right now, let my children eat so that we can be healthy and strong enough to support the orphans, the destitutes, the lost, the foreigners. But if we are weak, then I won't be able to support everybody else who's coming in who needs my help.
You know, in the last maybe 10 years, we had this excitement of East African community. I can go study here, I can go work here. What happens to that excitement?
The East African community is a beautiful concept. But you see, everything is beautiful on paper. But if you do not translate what is on paper and put it into action practically, studying the whole thing. You know, sometimes the challenge with most leaders is looking at the big picture without realizing what is going to happen. As it is said, the devil is in the detail. Whatever little details you ignore, the excitement of the East African community is a beautiful thing. We are all excited about the East African community. I am for the East African community. I am for the African Union because coming together makes us stronger.
Yes.
But we cannot send out weaklings into the society. We have to be strong. Now, in the Ugandan situation, we need to have opportunities opening up for the Ugandans. For example, when you see a small business opening up along the street, a woman is selling tomatoes on the street. Don't chase away the woman who is selling tomatoes on the street. Find why is she on the street? Can you provide a solution? But if you come and the city councils are coming to clean up because they want clean streets, you're dealing with a skin rash. I have AIDS. But you're treating the skin rash. The problem is in the blood. You need to help my blood. If I have AIDS, malaria, whatever disease, it's within the blood. If you treat the symptoms, you're not solving the problem. And right now, our government and our city councils are dealing with the skin rash. The AIDS is inside. The malaria is inside. Whatever disease is inside, the tuberculosis is inside. We need to clean inside, and then the symptoms will go away. If we have unemployment, the government has failed to deal with that because of certain underlying issues. If we have an ill-educated population,
Ill-educated, you mean they have got a standard of education that is not
yes,
good enough.
that's not good enough. We have the uneducated completely, and then we have graduates who are ill-educated. So if we have a population of ill-educated and illiterate people, it means their minds are not open enough to see the opportunities in their society. You understand? Now, it is not lack of jobs. It is lack of systems to open up people's minds and to support people to do whatever it is. Because if you're in a small business, there's certain taxes that shouldn't apply to you.
True.
But right now, city council is collecting, URA is collecting, neighborhood tax is collecting, everyone. So whatever little income someone is making, they will not grow because they are stifling them. What is interesting, from Zambia to Gaba. You're laughing.
You don't need to go there, but
so
everybody knows the
from
picture of what is
Zambia
happening there.
to Gaba, there is a situation that is happening along that road.
They are East Africans.
I'm not saying anything.
Yes.
I'm giving people an idea. Let them take a taxi or drive there.
Yes.
From Zambia to Gaba.
Yes.
There's a situation that is happening there. There are a lot of small businesses thriving.
But
and city council is looking the other way on some of them. But when you're a Ugandan and you are having a similar situation, they will hunt you. So the question is, do we lack jobs, or is our society, our system, our government working towards ensuring that we remain poor?
Okay. Yeah.
So what will I do in my situation? I will be a good doctor and deal with the disease, not the symptoms.
The way the lady on the other
We
side is
need
doing.
to allow Ugandans to thrive, because we were mentioned in one of the surveys, I think it was 2005, we were mentioned in one of the surveys as one of the most entrepreneurial countries.
Yes.
So if we are the most entrepreneurial country, you're starting a business, very many youth are starting businesses. How can we support them? So the government needs to come out. My government will support the youth in businesses. Your heart is good. You want to work diligently and honestly, but you're making a few mistakes. How can I correct you? You're doing the right thing, but you're in the wrong position. How can I reposition you? How can I support you? How can I ensure that you work well so that you get out of this position that you're in? But what we are doing right now is we are killing what was standing in the wrong place. No, we should uproot and reposition.
Okay, thank you very much for that thought, because it has sort of addressed what is happening here and also what is happening in Tanzania, and it has made sense actually of the situation on the other side. Before we go,
I think she's doing a good job.
From your explanation, she is.
Yes.
Yeah. From
the East African, once she strengthens her people,
yes,
then they will actually be a very good human resource to the rest of East Africa. And all East African countries ought to do that. Strengthen internally, clean up inside, and then start cleaning community. We cannot say, Gwanga Muje, we are cleaning the street. Then we come and find that your kitchen is dirty.
Yeah, that makes sense. Before we go, there is a lot going. Have you been confirmed yet by the Electoral Commission?
Not yet.
Not yet. Hiccups?
Yes, many. Many hiccups.
Will you overcome them?
I believe I will overcome them. Okay. This time round, it's been tougher than the first time. Because of the highly monetized society we are in. Collecting signatures is no longer this is, it's no longer about introducing myself and telling you my intentions and what I could possibly do if I get into this position. Could you please support me? It's like, oh, I like you very much, but I have to eat. So for me to give you my signature, you have to pay for it. So we've had those challenges. It's mostly a monetary issue, but we will overcome.
Okay, so before we go,
By
you
God's
have a
grace.
lot doing, you have a book coming out. One last word for our listeners and those watching, the East African perspective.
Wow, you have this ability to ask 3 or 4 questions in one.
Time.
Okay, so about my book, I have written this book. But God is the title of this book. It's out now. It's in print. And very soon Ugandans will be able, I have written, it's actually an autobiography. I've been asked why I'm writing an autobiography at my age.
At your age.
I thought I should write my autobiography in phases when my memory is still good. When I am 120, I may not remember all the things that happened before. So, yes, I journal a lot, by the way. Yes. I journal, I have gratitude journals, yes. I have daily journals, I have dream journals, I have different experience journals depending on extraordinary things that happen in my life. So, through that, I thought it would be good. A lot of people have been asking me, but who is Nancy? And I can't summarize in 10 minutes who Nancy is.
You can't do that on a podcast.
I can't do that on a podcast or on a TV show. Or radio show, but I decided let me put out a book so that people can read and get to know who Nancy is.
That is why I didn't ask who is Nancy.
Because you have had an opportunity. So that is basically what I would like people to get to know. I would like people to get to know me because as human beings, the more people get to know you, sometimes your vulnerabilities is what pulls the people, your divine helpers to you, to make you a better person. So I hope people can read my book. It is available for those who want to reach me. They can easily reach me on, my numbers will be on the screen as they watch this podcast so that people can either send me a WhatsApp message or call me and they'll be able to get a book.
Okay.
As we wrap up, I love Uganda. I'm Ugandan in every way. I was born here. I was raised here. My parents, grandparents, and very many generations past were Ugandans. It is high time for Uganda to have a real Ugandan president who loves this country, who has a heart for this country, who has a mother's heart for this country. That's why we call her Mother Earth, Mother Uganda, Mother Africa. Now, when you put mother in the term of leadership, then you know that someone is going to uphold you and carry you through the good times and the bad times. It's only mothers who know how to handle the extremely bad children, the ordinary children, the extremely good children without prejudice. It's only a mother who can stand for her son or daughter who has been a murderer and say, she can change, he can change.
Thank you very much. So you have talked about the media and how it shapes our society and the region. You have talked about the elections, why you want to run, and you have made your points clear. And you have painted a very, very good picture of how we should be integrating as East Africa and Africa and what we should not ignore. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation, for coming to the East African Perspective. We hope to have you again, and we wish you all the best in the nomination process and then the election process. Thank you.